Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak Alhadi family. Welcome to episode 6 of Beyond the Broadcast, dubbed Rebounds and Rebuttals. I'm Mehdi Rizvi, and joined with us today is someone who has changed Alhadi in some of the greatest ways possible. From creating its basketball team that went undefeated multiple times to introducing the debate program and finding success there too. We're joined today with a teacher, mentor, and inspiration, and most importantly, our coach. Coach Saif, thank you so much for joining us today. It's a real honor.
All right, thank you for having me, Mehdi.
You know, we've had a lot of delays in recording this podcast, but alhamdulillah, finally we're here, and let's get right into it. To start off, Coach, let's go back to, I think, 2017, the year you first joined Alhadi. I believe you were finishing up college, and it was like your last year of college, I believe. What's the reason behind why you joined Alhadi?
So it actually wasn't my last year of college.
Mm-hmm.
It was my second year of college.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and I actually didn't know much about Alhadi at the time. Someone had told me that they went to the school Alhadi, and I thought that Alhadi was just what IC called Sunday school.
Oh, okay.
So when they told me like that they went to Alhadi, I was like, oh, I went to Alhadi, thinking that it was Sunday school. Then they were like, no, you didn't. Like, I would have known if you went to Alhadi. And I was like, no, I was there every Sunday. And they were like, no, like Alhadi's an actual school. That's a little embarrassing to admit, but yeah, so in 2017, I found out that Alhadi was a full-time institution. And immediately I became interested in the school and if they had, offerings for sports and different things. And I became interested in it, and I came on in 2017 to volunteer and do some basketball camps and things like that. And I was here just as a volunteer for about 6-7 months, and then eventually it just kind of turned into a job and a career for me as well.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Good to know. So it's like just thinking about how some volunteer opportunity turned into something so much bigger and so much beneficial for so many of the students here, alhamdulillah. And Coach, why have you decided to stay here instead of like pursuing other careers outside of Alhadi?
It's a good question. In short, I would say the people, right? People like you, students like you, right? Teachers like your mom, and some of the other really dedicated and passionate teachers that are here, like Sister Malak. She's behind the scenes over there. The ulama, having an opportunity to interact with alims like Mulana Farhat, Sayyid Shan, Sayyid Hussain on a regular basis. The people are really what make this school what it is, and I've fallen in love with that. I'm recalling a time in 2017 when I first started the program. I was volunteering just Tuesdays and Thursdays after school at Alhadi, and I remember when I came the second week, Ali Safter, he was in 7th or 8th grade at the time. Yeah. He was about this tall, and he came up to me and he was like, "You came back." And I was like, yeah, like, why wouldn't I come back? And he was like, no one ever comes back. And I was like, what are you talking about? And so that was a nice little moment. And it made me see, like, just how many connections that I'm able to build here and how many good people are here. And it's a blessing to be around so many good people every single day. And that's why I'm here for the long term.
Yeah, I think that similar reason kind of also inspires me to, like, think about in my future, can I give back to my community? Is it through Alhadi, through other means? And it's really the people that make like Alhadi what it is, really, truly.
I see a future principal in you.
But obviously, don't worry, after you retire.
Yeah, future principal.
Yeah. So, Coach, as you know, alhamdulillah, our basketball team has been growing a lot over the past few years, and we've had a lot of success from when the program first started. It was tough in the beginning, but alhamdulillah, we've grown really far to, as we mentioned earlier, going undefeated multiple times, and last year we made the finals. And just thinking about overall the basketball program and all that's happened all these years, what was your vision going in and starting this team, and how far have we come to achieving it?
So, going into why we started it, it was really just a chance and an opportunity to empower student athletes, right? Give students the opportunity to go out and be the best versions of themselves, to show students like what potential they hold and give them an opportunity to actualize that potential in a competitive and athletic environment. As far as like where we started and where we are, yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, there's been a lot of growth, but that's due to the support of the school. Brother Alhadi he's awesome in terms of how much he's supported our program. The parents of all the athletes, they've been great as well, and then obviously the athletes themselves. I don't think they get enough credit for how much they work and how much effort they put in, and they're a big reason for our success. And yeah, so like you mentioned, we've been able to go undefeated a few times in this charter school league that we've been playing in. And so we recently got an invitation to join a prep school and private school league, which is a little bit higher in the prestige and in the rankings. So this is called the Southwest Athletics Interscholastic Conference, or SWAC for short. And this is a big sort of accomplishment for our school in terms of what it means for student athletes to, get exposure to maybe even play at the next level, which is in college, and maybe earn some athletic scholarships. And that's sort of the next goals that we've sort of set for ourselves, is being able to get to that level.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, yeah. And I just want to say, on my part, I have seen the basketball program grow a lot. I remember when I was like a little kid in like 4th grade, we used to be at Phil Hoops, and we didn't have our own gym at the time, and the team used to practice in the IEC garage. The players would be doing bear crawls on their palms up and down the garage on the concrete.
On the cut gravel, like concrete.
Yeah. And it just, alhamdulillah, we've come so far to having our own gym now, and coming so far and doing these trips even to Dallas and stuff like that. So, Coach, what does the future hold for our team?
The biggest thing that I want is for the athletes at Alhadi to understand and recognize their potential, right? Alhamdulillah, we have come a long way. However, if you look at maybe like the size of our gym, or like our weight room, or lack thereof, a lot of the things we realize is that there's limited resources that we have, but then when we go out and we compete against some of these schools, they have a lot more resources than us, but we're still able to compete with them, and in a lot of cases actually beat them, right? And so I'm hoping that one of the lessons that's learned here by our student athletes is that even given limited resources, and sometimes being given less, doesn't necessarily mean that you have to strive for less, right? So I want our student athletes to dream big, not just in basketball, but in everything that they do. And I hope that these are life lessons that they're able to extract. So when you ask me, what's long-term for this program and long-term for these student athletes, it's to create people who understand how to actualize their own potentials. And if that's done through basketball, inshallah in the future it'll be done through other avenues and other pathways and stuff. And so I was thinking about it the other night, and I was thinking about different people that have been through our program, and guys like Zach and Imran and Raza and Omid, and these were guys that did really well when they were playing basketball here. But that translated, and now they're doing really well in their professional fields, right? Whether it be engineering or business or computer science or, all the other fields, mashallah, that these guys are excelling in. And I would like to think that part of the discipline and the work ethic that they have, maybe some of that was built during their time in basketball. So that's what I sort of want to see long term for our student athletes. Inshallah.
And today, even I see personally that a lot of the former players, the alumni, they're serving as role models at Alhadi, forming as TAs or teachers, alhamdulillah. Coach, you're not only our basketball coach, but you're also our debate coach as well. Why did you start the debate program here at Alhadi?
I just want to comment on the name of this broadcast. I think it was very clever, this Rebounds and Rebuttals. So why did I start the debate program? I did speech and debate when I was in high school, and I always felt that it was a very strong platform for students to have the opportunity to, present their thoughts, be engaged in critical thinking, learn public speaking skills, and one of the things that's really important is also just have an opportunity to spend some time with each other. Right. So I wanted to provide this platform for high school students here at Alhadi. And I think it's really kicked off. When we first started, there was only 8 students in the program. Your brother was one of the pioneers, Ali Rizvi. And now I believe, if I'm accurate with this, I think there's 53
Wow,
students.
mashallah,
Yeah,
mashallah.
that are enrolled and actively sort of participating and
Mhm.
competing in high school speech and debate. So,
Yeah, mashallah. I just want to say, like, for the parents that are watching and for people who are considering enrolling their child in Alhadi, Alhadi provides their students with so many opportunities, such as the basketball program, which has found success, and it's a good program, it's a strong program, along with their debate program. We're competing at so many levels, and we have the accolades that's back up our performance as well at these competitions. And now, Coach, it's time to shift away from the serious topic and move on to the fun stuff. So I've heard from some credible sources, Coach Zaki, that you do good in NBA trivia. Are you ready?
sure.
All right, it's not too hard. So, all right, question number 1. Which player holds the record for most three-pointers made in a single, and like of all time? I'm gonna give you a few options, all right?
Wait, don't give me options. I know this one.
You know this one?
Is it Steph Curry?
That's correct.
Okay.
Good job. All right. Question number 2. Which team or teams have won the most NBA championships?
The Celtics and the Lakers.
That is correct. Wait, do you know how many each?
18.
That is correct. Yeah. All right. Number 3, this one's a bit tougher. Who is the youngest player to score 60 points in at least 60 points in an NBA game? James Harden, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, or Kobe Bryant?
Devin Booker.
That is correct. He was 20 years old.
20.
And do you know how many points he scored?
70.
70.
Yeah, 70.
Okay, I'm going to spice it up. Which team do you play against? Do you know that?
No, I don't know.
It was Boston Celtics.
He scored on the Celtics?
Yeah,
Oh.
but interestingly, they lost that game too.
I know they lost.
Yeah, that was
but
tough, yeah.
I didn't know it was on the Celtics. That's really impressive.
Yeah.
Celtics have a really good defense.
Yeah. And number 4, what is the maximum number of personal fouls a player can commit before fouling out in an NBA game?
In the NBA,
Yeah,
6.
that's correct.
It's 5 in high school.
Yeah,
So
5 in
that's-
high school. So that's something important to remember. When I was playing in games sometimes,
Yeah, I was
you
gonna
get
say,
confused.
A
Yeah.
lot of kids think it's 6 in high school.
Yeah. So far, coaches 4 of 4. All right, next question. Which is the only player to have scored 100 points in a single NBA game?
Wilt.
Wilt, that's correct, all right? It's 5 of 5. Which player was known for inventing the skyhook shot?
Kareem, the
Kareem.
dream.
All right. Now, this is the last question we have here. Which NBA team has the best regular season record of all time?
The Warriors.
The Warriors, 73-9. That is correct. All right. So, Coach, you crushed the trivia, but now we're going to look at more of a free, open-ended question.
Oh, gosh.
Who is your Alhadi all-time starting 5 with 6 men?
Oh, man. This question's going to get me in trouble. I just... So, I can only pick from people who have played basketball at Alhadi.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, we've had a lot of good point guards
Yeah.
at Alhadi. Some of the ones that come to mind are, obviously Ali Reza.
Yeah.
This year, he's crushing it. He's
Yeah.
really good at his position. We've had Reza Sayed.
Yeah.
He's been great. Zach, and so they're all they're all good at different
Yeah.
things, right? So Ali Reza's really good at playmaking.
Mhm.
Reza was really good at being a leader and being vocal on the court.
Yeah.
Zach had just a crazy work ethic.
Yeah.
And so that was just, if I had to pick one for an all-time starting 5, I'm probably gonna go with Ali Reza,
Yeah.
just because he's young.
Yeah.
There's a lot of room left for him to grow. And some of the stuff he's doing at 10th grade, I don't
It's
think anyone was
amazing,
doing
yeah.
at 10th grade. he's really good. Going to the shooting guard position, there's been some really good shooters.
Yeah.
At Alhadi, like thinking Murtaza Jaffrey,
Yeah.
Tahir,
Mhm.
Daim, Zaki. There's a lot of good shooters. Probably going to go with Tahir.
Yeah.
Because, again, like some of the stuff he's doing right
Yeah,
now in
that's
11th grade, it's
impressive,
just,
yeah.
you were at that game, right?
Yeah.
At Gulf Coast Trade Center. Like,
Yeah, that was crazy.
he was just
going off.
Oh my God, he didn't miss a single shot. So I'll go with Ali Reza Tahir, and then for my small forward, we've had a lot of good small
Yeah.
forwards too. Your brother was a really good small
Yeah.
forward. Abbas Zaidi was really good as well. I think the small forward position, I'll probably go with we'll go Ali Rizvi. Yeah, I'll
interesting.
go Ali Rizvi. Ali Rizvi is really good, man. He's underrated, and he's got a really strong left hand, and he plays hard, and he has some of those intangible things you too. You know, like his drive, his tenacity. He's kind of almost like a little Kevin Garnett. So I'll go Ali Rizvi at the 3.
Okay, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then he just he crushed you guys in the seniors and alumni game.
You know, I didn't expect my brother to play like
he
that.
He had such an efficient game. He scored
Yeah.
15 points and he only took 7 shots.
That's
Like
pretty good. Wow.
he's really, really good.
I was
like, really
expecting it,
efficient.
man.
So yeah, I'll go. What do I have so far? Ali Rizvi, Tahir,
Ali Reza.
Ali Reza. At the 4, we had a lot of good power forwards as well, man. But I think the most dominant one we've had is Hussein.
Hussein is a beast.
I'm gonna have to take Hussein, the the Iranian secret.
Yeah, for sure.
So Hussein at the 4, and then gotta go with Imran at the 5. Yeah. We've had some good bigs in the past, with Omid, with Yusuf Ahmed, but I'm gonna go with Imran. At the 5. So what is that? That's Ali Reza, Tahir, Ali Rizvi, Hussein, and Imran. That's a difficult team to beat, man.
That's pretty good.
That's a difficult team to beat. So, yeah, I'll take my chances with those guys any given night.
Yeah. 6 man.
6 man. Oh man, off the bench. It was really good for our program that I wasn't able to fit in there was Abbas Zaidi.
Yeah.
He worked really hard, and I felt bad for Abbas because his senior year was COVID.
Oh yeah.
So that season was really like short for us. We only got 4 games.
Oh.
So he didn't get a chance to have his his breakout senior year that we were all sort of expecting and hoping for. But I'd go with the boss. As
I remember we played
mention.
him. We played him in the summer league, and he was like killing us with his shot.
He's amazing. Man. He's
Yeah.
a beast. And he's a good guy too. He's like the right type of guy you want in a team environment too.
Yeah. Oh, good to know that.
Yeah.
All right, Coach.
I apologize to all the people I left out. You're all special. You're all very good. I'm sorry I could only pick 6.
All right. So now that we know Alhadi's all-time starting 5 with the 6 man, we're gonna move on away from basketball to a quick card game. All right.
Oh, gosh.
So I'm gonna ask you some questions, Coach. Not really basketball or debate related. It's more just about you. All right. So question number 1: what's your favorite sport to watch or play?
Probably basketball.
Okay, other than basketball.
So I like football. So I used to play a lot of football. I don't watch it as much as I used to. But if I'm not watching a basketball game, I'm probably watching a football game.
Yeah. All right. So next question. You might have to think about this one a little bit. What are 3 things you would bring to a deserted island?
Oh man. All right, cut the camera. 3 things I would bring to a deserted... Oh, I was joking. You can keep it going. 3 things I would bring to a deserted island. And assuming these can't be like human beings, like these have to be like items. Oh man, I have 3 kids. So I'm gonna go with Sakina, Mustafa, and Zainab. I would bring them to a deserted island. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. That's my final answer.
All right, nice. All right, next question is, if you could live anywhere for a month, where would it be?
If I could live anywhere for a month, where would it be?
Yeah.
Probably Iraq.
Yeah.
Najaf. So I could spend a month there.
Yeah.
It's very nice. I wish I spoke the language. My sister Malak would have a really good time in Iraq speaking the language. But even if I don't speak the language, there's like there's a certain like calmness in Najaf. Like I feel like I could spend a month there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right, next question. If you could make an app for anything, what would it be?
An app for anything?
Yeah. You have a computer background, Coach. Yeah. So.
Yeah. You know, I've never really given this much thought, to be honest. But I think like an app for IC would be really nice.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
You know, I've had actually last year I taught an app development course.
Oh yeah.
But it was only offered to seniors and it was offered at 8 a.m. So if you can do the math, like how many seniors are showing up. So the class kind of died out. But one of the ideas we had was creating an app for IC, just for updates, announcements, and engagements, and having like a membership portal and things like that. So IC board of directors, if you're watching this podcast, if you want to build the IC app, I'm here. I'm sure they've thought about it too, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say an IC app would probably be the most useful right now.
Yeah, what
to
about
me at least.
what about Alhadi app?
An Alhadi app would be really cool, but an Alhadi app would basically just be quick schools, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
I would like to see the lunch menu like in an app, but
Oh,
you can
yeah.
always just they send out like the lunch menu at the beginning of the month. So
Oh, yeah. All right. Would you rather be able to teleport or fly?
teleport.
Teleport. Yeah, same. That's so tough.
That's like the hours, bro.
Yeah, for real.
I would. Yeah.
All right. A few more questions left here. Uh, would you rather be the best player on a bad team or the worst player on a good team? I've heard this question a lot. I want to hear from you.
The best player on a bad team or the worst player on a good team?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I don't want to get technical with this, but like, what
Yeah.
makes a team good? What makes a team bad? I would want to be on a team where I feel like there is like growth opportunities. right?
Yeah.
So if I'm the worst player on a good team,
Mhm.
there's a lot of potential to like rise.
Yeah.
But if I'm the best player on a bad team, there's still a lot of potential to rise because you are given, a much bigger role and a
Mhm.
much bigger responsibility. But I feel like I enjoy learning more than I do teaching.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna go with being the worst player on a bad team.
Yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
that's probably the best answer I've heard for that question. Yeah. And to wrap up this final part of our podcast, Coach, what are some of your favorite high school experiences, and how have you tried to give back to Alhadi students based off your experiences?
For me personally, some of the best parts about high school was the opportunity to travel.
Mm-hmm.
As a part of different extracurricular activities. We took some trips with the basketball team, the
Mhm.
debate team. Some of those trips were out of state,
Oh,
so we actually got to like fly as well. I think that's probably one of the most, or that's probably one of the most favorite experiences for some of the kids that I work with as well. Getting the opportunity to, get away from your city, get away from your normal sort of environment, and
Mhm.
and go and connect to one another in a different space.
Yeah.
And then also being there with like a common goal, right? Like
Mhm.
we're here to win a game, or we're here to like win a competition.
Mhm.
I think it creates a lot of camaraderie and
Yeah.
brotherhood and sisterhood and
Mhm.
just amongst the students and the teachers.
Yeah.
And some of the best conversations that I've ever had
Mhm.
with students has been like outside of Houston,
Mhm.
like late at night in a hotel,
Yeah.
like just everybody sitting around. And some of those like intimate moments are really nice, and
Mhm.
I remember some of those from my own high school experiences, and those are the high school experiences that I've been trying to kind of give to
Yeah.
the kids at Alhadi as well.
That's great. Kind of reminds me of that thing that people say often, like you get to know a person like really good whenever you travel with them. So
Mhm.
it gives you an opportunity to connect with students and vice versa, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, Sister Malak has a really nice poster outside her
Mhm.
room where I think it says like, "There is no Wi-Fi in the woods, but the
Yeah,
connection is
better,
greater,"
yeah.
or something like that. It's really
Your,
nice.
your sister-in-law made that one.
My sister-in-law made,
So-
shout out Sarab Hubby.
Yeah.
So I really like that, and so sometimes it's getting away, and not being on your phone, but interacting, having these like human interactions and face-to-face conversations. I think it builds relationships, and I really like that. Yeah.
So next question is, what do you love most about Alhadi?
The food.
The food.
The cafeteria. No, on a serious, I do. I really do. I think Alhadi has the best cafeteria in the world. No, in all seriousness, I would say the people. I know I said this earlier too, and I'm sorry to repeat it, but it really is the reason why I'm here, the reason why I stayed. In theory, the idea of like, Islamic schooling and stuff, I'm sure like it's been talked about a lot, and the ways that it should be implemented have been talked about a lot.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, like the people make the institution.
Yeah.
Right? The people make the institution what it is. And my favorite thing about this institution is the people I get to see every day,
Mhm.
both in a capacity as like their teacher,
Mhm.
and but also in the capacity of like just like friends and
Yeah.
like fellow Muslims and
Mhm.
like fellow people that are on like a similar journey of just trying to actualize their potential here. And so yeah, I would say the people.
Yeah.
It's really nice being around like-minded people who have the same
Yeah.
visions and goals for themselves.
Yeah, definitely. And Coach, I've asked our previous guest, Brother Mansur, Brother Abdi, about having a mentor in their life. Is there anyone who has been your mentor, and is there one advice from them that you can share with us?
there's been people that have taught me a lot, that I've learned from a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm hesitant to like claim to be a mentee
Mm-hmm.
of them because I don't want people to affiliate like my shortcomings with like their
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah.
So I don't want to like put anybody on the spot and say like this person mentored me
Mm-hmm.
because like that's probably not a good look for that person.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I would say like a lot of people have taught me a
Mhm.
lot.
Yeah.
Particularly like Brother Abadi
Mhm.
has been very, very helpful. His leadership at this school is something that I learned from a lot.
Mhm.
Maulana Farhat,
Mhm.
he's probably the biggest reason why I'm here.
Mhm.
There's other ulama as well that have played a big role in my
Mhm.
life.
Yeah.
And then honestly, like even some of the students, like
Mhm.
I feel like I've learned a lot about myself because of some of the students that I've had.
Mhm.
And just seeing like how passionate they are about some of the different things that they do, it gives me like motivation and
Mhm.
gives me inspiration as well.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say I have like a specific mentor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there like anyone from any of your mentors? You don't have to take their name, of course, but is there one advice that you were given that you can share with us?
Someone told me one time, how you do anything
Mhm.
is how you do everything.
Yeah.
And that's sort of become like our mantra in both debate and basketball, right?
Mhm.
Is that if you want to be great at anything, right, or if you want to be great at any one particular thing,
Mhm.
you have to look at how you're doing, like everything,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So if you want to be great on the court, like in basketball, you got to be great in the classroom.
Yeah.
If you want to be great in a debate round, right, you got to be great in the classroom. There's this other like when I went on a lesser one time,
Mhm.
and I had asked this question to one of the scholars there, and I said, like how. Oh, sorry, I didn't ask this question, but I remember the response. Someone had asked, how can we increase our attention on Allah during our salat?
Mhm.
And I liked what he said. He said, you should increase your attention on Allah outside of salat.
Oh, subhanallah, yeah.
Right? And so I feel like these two sort of go together, right? Like how you do anything is how you do everything, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, I would say that.
Yeah. And to wrap up with the final question for today, what is some advice you give to students, especially us being Muslim students and more specifically Muslim student athletes?
Muslim student athletes, the advice I would give is, you belong, right?
Mhm.
One of the things that's like difficult sometimes for us to overcome
Mhm.
is believing that we deserve to be here, right?
Mhm.
So sometimes we have walked into really competitive gyms,
Mhm.
really competitive environments, and there's almost like this level of like fear
Mhm.
that you can like feel
Mhm.
some of our kids going through. And my advice to them would just be like, like you deserve to be here just as much as the other guy, right?
Mhm.
You deserve these opportunities just as much as the other guy.
Mhm.
And you deserve this shot just as much as the other guy, right? And I would say that that's consistent not just for like Muslim athletes, but for all students out of Alhadi,
Mhm.
in whatever fields that they're pursuing, is that like you deserve it, right?
Mhm.
So go out there and make the most of it, and
Yeah.
whatever potential you have, like
Mhm.
work on maximizing it and reaching it and actualizing it, because that level of confidence actually should be higher for you
Mhm.
because you're a Muslim student athlete, right? Like we have some of the best role
Mhm.
models in like the history of humanity,
Mhm.
right? And they were always confident
Mhm.
in the face of
Yeah.
adversaries and opposition, and
Mhm.
that's something that we should learn and adopt, that we should never be afraid. And we have so many examples in our like history of this, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, I would say like that's the message I would like to send to
Yeah.
my athletes, my debaters, my students. You belong.
Mhm.
You belong here.
Yeah. Coach, I've learned a lot from you today. Personally, I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned today is how much of a blessing Alhadi is for us, for what it provides for us. You're a blessing at Alhadi, and all the teachers, all the students. It's really, truly a blessing how much we've been given here, alhamdulillah.
Alhadi
And,
truly is.
yeah.
Alhadi is a blessing, yeah.
And just reflecting, going back, there's so much that Alhadi has to offer for us. And alhamdulillah, it's a blessing that's come through you. And you have been a great role model and an advisor for all the students. Thank you so much, Coach, for joining us on this podcast. It was a real honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me,
Yeah.
Mehdi and Sister Malak and Zahra in the back.
Thank you, Coach. And we'll see you guys next time, inshallah, on Beyond the Podcast. That's all for now. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.